Hey guys, Nito King once again, having reinstalled the CD version of Space Quest 4. Just so you can appreciate how much the graphics failed to improve. Look at that pixelation, that's horrible.
Now we're along with the... What's happened?
Yeah, we've already heard that. And another thing we've heard is way too loud music. Much better. Now, people wanted me to mess around with the street here.
You are in the southern area of a rare clearing in this destroyed cityscape. Your home, as you remember it, does not exist in this period of time. A huge boil of a structure clogs the horizon. Don't mess with it. You talk to yourself. You inhale deeply and detect the aroma of very old traffic. You lick a thick smear of filth off the street. Finding the taste unpleasant, you quickly swallow it. What a smart person you are.
So there you have it. And then there was something that I did a little too well in the video.
Timing is a critical factor here. Timing is a critical factor here. Those sure are some finely honed reactions you've got there. Perhaps you're still suffering from time lag.
Now, here's a very well-hidden Easter egg. You walk over to the side of the desk here, down about as far as you can go, and then tuck yourself over into this corner. Once in the proper position, we just pull out a Buckazoid and put it into the very hidden slide projector down here in the corner. Hopefully the graphics were a lot better in the floppy version, but unfortunately this is what I've got right now. Yeah, good looking. Almost looks like Nintendo. Now, whether it can be said that Scott Murphy did sell out after this, I won't pass judgment. But speaking of doing things before you die, I'm not going to bother with any of that. Because the graphics changed just a little bit for the Death by Slime. That wasn't it, by the way.
As the green slime dissolves the flesh from your bones, you think, hey, this stuff consumes 47 times its weight in acid.
And I think this version's funnier. But skipping ahead a little bit, let's see what happens if you just stand in the sewer for long enough. And there's another possible animation.
Your pockets aren't big enough.
Oh no, you can climb into the cockpit.
The young shuttle pilot, his seat suddenly humidified by your surprise entry, fires his pulse ray. The shot just misses you and then bounces off the reflective surfaces of the cabin, eventually managing to fatally perforate you. Just as you fade from the living organism club, you think, in amazement, so that's what my spleen looks like. Just as you fade from the living organism club, you think in amazement, so that's what my spleen looks like.
I think they should have used the first part of the first take and the second part of the second take for a single take. But anyway, we still got to do this.
You climb up into the landing gear housing. How clever you are.
Now, when I installed the patch, they claimed that it fixed a lot of timing problems. And this was a timing problem in the patched version, so this can't possibly end well in the unpatched version. I do really like the music, though. And those guys just kind of zipped up in there. Wait, what's that music? It works! I can get back to the street in this version. Shame your saves don't carry over from one version to the other. So here we are back on the street. And of course, the dropship is taken off. If you want to get it back, I believe you can go through the sewer again, make one more loop, and then it's there. But rather than do that, I'm just going to go check out this building.
It smells like old money and new rust. Okay, you get your last licks on the bank. The old Bank of Xenon building held up fairly well. Too bad. They turned Roger down for a loan once. Forget it. The doors and windows have been sealed with welded steel plating. There is no reply.
Okay, so skipping ahead a bit again, we're back in the time pod. And with the pixelation still there.
Time and nothing.
I just love the way if you skip past the dialogue, you still gotta wait for the music to finish. Alright, let's try that again.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Let's try actually hitting the buttons.
The powerful quad quark drives Rev to time and...
Ew. I mean, it's multicolored. That's pretty nice, but... those edges. Who thought this was a good idea? At least the buttons are kind of shiny. And of course, the Death by Sea Slug on Astros has also got new graphics, but they're nothing that you haven't seen yet.
We're glad you could play Space Quest 4. As usual, you've been a real pantload.
Alright, moving ahead just a bit to the Galaxy Galleria. First time I was here, I talked to the crowd at Software Access, but I only talked to them once.
What's going on in there?
The two geeks from Andromeda are in there signing copies of their latest release.
What's going on in there?
I just told you! The two geeks from Andromeda are in there signing copies of their latest release.
What's going on in there?
Beat it, jerk!
What's going on in there?
There is no reply.
And that's about all the humor we're going to get from there. So moving on. See what's become of Radio Shock. It's now Hurts So Good. And while Radio Shack was a dandy company, Hurt So Good, for whatever reason, is a division of Blatz Enterprises. Don't believe any of the voice clips have changed, so...
You don't need to look at that. It's like licking a battery.
Nothing special. So, moving on with our quest, next thing I need to do is buy some pants.
You change your clothes, you step out.
And then we gotta pay the man.
I am sorry, we do not accept ATM cards.
Nobody else will even say that much, so I guess we gotta pay with Buckazoids. And get on to that job at the Monolith Burger. Or rather, not a job at the Monolith Burger.
Yeah?
I'd like,
Would you like to apply for a job?
Yes, I do need a job.
Would? Gee,
But I'm just gonna
Warning,
wimp out
the
and take the
following
cash.
sequence contains explicit arcade. Oh, by the way, you're about to be fired.
You're fired! My janitor could do a better job than you could.
And I think for doing that, you lose 3 points, but you get 75 Buckazoids. Pretty nice. I wanted to see if anything happened differently if I went into Software Access and Address.
Sorry, but the crowd completely cleaned out my stock of Sierra software. The only thing that's left is boring home and business application software, along with a few inferior games. But feel free to look around anyway. So, are you looking for a good database? We've got one coming in next week.
I'm pretty sure those lines are just random.
Sorry, but the crowd So, are you looking...
But he says the same ones anyway. So, to the bargain bin. All I need is the hint book. There we go.
The two guys.
And... oh, wait, I need to keep... that's not the right thing. What am I doing?
Didn't find anything you like.
Try again. Should be easy. There's less stuff in the box than there was before.
I see you've made a selection from our box of slop, bargain bin.
Yep, but I'm not paying for it.
Excuse me, ma'am. Would you like to pay for that?
There you go. That's the difference. He calls you ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, that was a waste of time. And so was Astro Chicken. Ms. Astro Chicken. But there was one thing that people wanted me to do, when I'm very carefully avoiding being shot. The people said that the chicken wire in this game was not actually a deadly obstacle, but a protective piece of armor. So as I dodge everything that's trying to kill me here, I'm going to be on the lookout for some chicken wire. There's some. And indeed, it makes the flight a bit slower and clumsier. But it may well protect me. Well, let's try it out. Her hat turned into a fried egg. And I almost got a face full of buckshot. Let's try this again. Now that worked better. I get 5 points per squirrel that I block with this thing. And they don't kill me. And 2 in 1 shot. Awesome. And with 3 hits, the chicken wire disappears, and I need to get more. Thank you for providing. A lot of squirrels out here. And, yeah, it's about time I restock on eggs. Okay, chicken wire doesn't protect you from the dog. And I couldn't really decide whether I wanted to get killed or not. Hey, I shot him! Well, with that done, there's really only about one thing left to do.
Are you sure you want to restart?
Indeed I do, but next time I'll be restarting with Space Quest 5. See you then!